Hey guys, it's that time of night where we're gonna make another video on Soothing World Editor. Now in order to make a good Soothing World Editor video, all you gotta do is make the first thing that comes to your mind. Of course, the reason for us to make the first thing that comes to our mind is the fact that it's an incredibly fun thing to do, and it reminds us what Warcraft 3 World Editor is really all about. In our first night, the first thing that came to my mind was a Night Elf Warden riding on a hippogriff that throws fireballs. So we made that, and we gave her a nice little name. Valendoria, right there, just like that. On the second night, Valendoria needed something fun to do. So we went over here, and we implemented the Magic Jukebox Man. That's right. Along with his magical jukebox item, he sells magical jukeboxes that make 4 different notes. Those are some pretty good magical jukeboxes. To spice up the town, we added some lights. Now we open the lights in Notepad and make them emit a nice little bit of color, just like that. That's right. As you can see there, we got a lot of nice things. Now the question next is, what's going to be the first thing that comes to our mind? As we start getting going here, seems like I clicked on the flying machine. So let's make a custom unit made from the flying machine. No pressure. We just gotta make it something nice and interesting. Some of the flying machine's original abilities are here. So let's try getting some abilities from over there. We'll copy one of these. We'll give it a good name, like Magical Awesome. Magical Awesome needs to be a good ability. It needs to look really awesome. In order to make that happen, let's give it a good Magical Awesome missile effect, right like that. There you go. Now we got some Magical Awesome that absorbs some magical frost arrows. Just like that. Then we gotta ask ourselves, what kind of icon should Magical Awesome have? Let's give Magical Awesome a really Magical Awesome icon by hitting the M key and seeing what comes up. Magic Defense is nice, but let's use the Magic Sentry. Of course, we want to use the non-passive icon. It's just like that. Just type in command. This ability is not a hostile ability, so we're not going to call it neutral hostile. We're going to give it a nice little sound here, but I got to remember my ID because it's going to be A05, Magical Awesome. So it becomes a question, what are we going to do with our little flying machine? And what is it going to be called? Do we want our flying machine to have a unique look? When you think about it, you can take the flying machine and make it not the Frozen Throne. And now it's a helicopter, just like that. So let's give it a name, like helicopter name. The other thing our helicopter should do is that people should be able to ride in the helicopter. That's right. So let's just go in here and we'll get the nice little cargo abilities. A cargo hold ship. So we can put a lot of units in it. And it needs to have load and unload. So let's get ourselves the unload ability. That's right. And the load ability from the Goblin Zeppelin, because it's a flying ship. There you go. Now we got a nice little helicopter. But we probably want somebody who can ride around in that helicopter, you know? Otherwise, what's the point of the helicopter? In addition, we have to ask ourselves, does the helicopter start as having anybody in it? Maybe our helicopter is an empty helicopter until we get into pilot it. To do that, let's go in here to the flying machine, just like that. Let's duplicate it up by importing the flying machine into the flying machine. This is of course a good idea because it'll give us 2 separate flying machines. This has a nice function because we can go ahead and say invisible and exotic animations. That's good and good. And it'll give us the kind of thing we want, just like that. Gonna click a couple of buttons. I don't really care to explain why, because it doesn't really matter. We'll click OK. Those are some good buttons. Now what we got is 2 sets of stand animations. Stand here and stand there. Just like that. What we want to do is go into our model and change it up. So stand 1 looks different than stand 2. To do that, we see here's the first stand. That's got the little guy. Let's take the second stand and have it not have a little guy. To do that, we'll just go to select connected components and we'll just select his head just like that. Make it so we don't have a little guy. This is going to be the empty helicopter. That's pretty nice, just like that. Then we'll change the name. So the second ones are going to be named stand alternate. That way, it's an alternate stand for when there's somebody in it or nobody in it, based on whatever we want, just like that. We got stand alternate 2. Let's do stand alternate 3. We'll just keep going down that list, typing them in and making it happen. Tag alternate 2 and walk animation, just like that. Now that we're done, we got some good animations. We can see for ourselves, do we have stand and stand alternate? Unfortunately, it looks like this little display didn't change the name of stand and stand alternate. I don't really know why, so let's go ahead and save it again, just like that. Save it as something in our other folder where we keep the Warcraft models. That'll be good. We'll just go in Documents. It's a good little folder, but it seems to be empty. That's right. Let's go to OneDrive Documents, because apparently it's in OneDrive Documents. Go to this little model folder, and we'll call this the helicopter. Looks like we're going to have to click our button again, because some part of it didn't work. That's getting me a new idea. Let's just do it all again. The time has come to do it all again. Now we're going to do is import this one a second time. That's right. Then we'll just import and rename to alternate. That way it's more convenient. I'll hit invisible again. Click all again right here. That's right. And it'll be good. Now we've got it more how we want. Let's go ahead and make another one of these. We just take this guy, click him up, and press delete, just like that. Now we've got how we want. We click stand, it's empty, and we click stand alternate where there's a guy in it. That's a good helicopter. Let's go ahead and save as, and we'll just overwrite the other helicopter. No biggie. We just got a helicopter with a guy in it. I'll put that in here, just like that. Now we got our helicopter. Let's go ahead and make a use of that animation. By default, it'll be empty, but we'll just make a little helicopter trigger right here. What we can say is that when somebody goes in a helicopter, it'll be a pickup trigger. That'll be pretty easy, and we'll just go through the generic unit event, just like that. In the generic unit event, we should be able to find a case of unit is loaded into a transport. And then we can say if the transporting unit is equal to our guy right there, or perhaps even our helicopter. Then we'll go ahead and make it animate. There you go. Looks like this one is the transport the load of the unit. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and load that right there. Now our transport is going to be able to be referenceable. You know what that means. That means we can go in here in animation, and we can go ahead and add an animation flag. Just like that. Add the alternate animation flag to the transport. There you go. Now we'll go ahead and do the same for a unit is unloaded from the transport. If they have it, maybe they don't. That's always a little interesting question. Sometimes you just gotta look through these things and see what you find. See if you find a unit is unloaded from a transport. And if they don't have it, you just have to do something different. Looks like it's not very obvious. Let's go ahead and try enter the region. Nah, let's not do enter the region. Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple. It's one of the rules of life. Sometimes you just keep it simple. To do that, let's just leave it here. We'll just say, once you pick something up, it'll be alternate, just like that. Now that we're good with our animation, let's give ourselves a little night elf to ride in the helicopter. Something like that. There you go. Let's go ahead and test it. Should be pretty good. We'll see what we got. Alright, just like that.
Okay to go.
Here's our helicopter. It's looking pretty good. And it has the power of magical art. He's got an interesting voice, even though there's nobody there.
Will do, Command.
And if we load him in, you can see now there's a little face on the helicopter because there's somebody inside. That's pretty fun. There you go. It's a good thing when you're world editor, that's you make the first thing that comes to your mind. Now what I'm thinking is, we need a little helicopter landing base. Something nice. That'll just give us a little interesting place. Of course we know we're in the forest, but maybe not as many trees grow over here, so we'll go ahead and put them just right like that. That's a good little landing base. But now we can't see our helicopter, so we gotta move it a little bit to the side, just like that. That's pretty good, but, you know, these little purple trees, they look pretty good. That's a purple tree. But we don't want to talk about corruption, so we're just gonna change its name, Purple Tree. There you go, Purple Tree. Just right like that. Also, every good purple tree is gonna have a devotion order, you know? Trying to see if I can guess the devotion aura. Looks like I can't, so we'll just click it in here. That's okay. Clicking in here is how you learn the little keys. ACAV. Now that we got a devotion aura, we gotta ask ourselves, will devotion aura look good on our purple tree? Realistically, it probably needs to be a little bit bigger. So let's go get our devotion aura in here. Make it a little bit bigger devotion aura. For that, we gotta find the abilities tab. I was thinking it was a buff, but the buff of all the auras is the same. Devotion aura here is the one we're looking for. This is going to be really simple. Just turn our box around it, hit that little hotkey for scale, and we'll make a nice big devotion aura to go along with our trees, right like that. Should be good. And we'll save it as the big devotion aura. There you go. That way our tree will look just how we want it to. With a big devotion aura like that. That's right. Now to get our big devotion aura, we gotta go find the devotion aura ability. Should be pretty simple. We can use any version we like. Well, let's use this one. We'll go ahead and set it to do a big devotion aura, just like that. This is gonna be A06. That'll be good. Let's give our purple tree A06. Now we got a tree, and we got a good looking devotion aura coming off of that tree, just like that. Let's go see it, see what it looks like. Look at that. That is a good tree-sized devotion aura, if ever there was one. Though it seems to have the problem that this tree should have root, and we don't have the gold to do the upgrade. So let's go ahead and fix that problem, just like that. You could give the tree root, but maybe we don't want to bother, so we're just going to give it alternate. No biggie. Just make it look like it's rooted. And then we'll go down here to the movement. We'll turn it off, just like that. Now if it can't move, it's effectively a rooted tree. That's right. Let's check it out in the game, so we can have a little bit of confidence. Got ourselves a rooted tree, just like that.
There's no time to rest.
Will do, Command.
That way we can fly by the rooted tree in our helicopter. Then you start to wonder, why does our helicopter not show the night elf face on it? It ought to show the face of that night elf. That way we know that's a good helicopter. That's right. So let's go ahead, nothing fancy, and just get ourselves a night elf from over here. We'll just pick up that same nice little night elf run that we were using. Like that. That's right. She seems pretty cool. But it looks like we can't select using that tool, so we gotta use this one. There we go. That's pretty good. That might even be a little too much. Then we'll get right here. Just leave that top half, just like that. Yeah, something like that. Now what we can do is import that top half into our helicopter. That's right. For that, we'll just go ahead and click import. Go on down to our night elf right there. Click OK. Probably only going to want 2 of the 3 parts of the elf. And we should be good, just like that. All we want is that geometry right here. Let's leave this geometry blank because that looks like it's going to take a long time to click through. We don't really want to bother to do, you know. So that should be good. We also want to make sure these things only show up with geoset 4, 5, and 6. So we'll do that right there. Now the program blew up, so it looks like we're not going to put a night elf face. But that's okay. We didn't really need that night elf face. We were just having fun. Some people, when they're not having fun, you gotta help them out. You gotta help them have fun. So for that, let's make a little dryad. Her name's gonna be Not Having Fun. But actually, maybe she could have fun. Let's give her a different name. Let's call her Friend of Tree. Friend of Purple Tree. That way she can be purple. Just like that. This would be a good friend of the purple tree. But she might not be immune to magic. And if she's not immune to magic, she might be affected by a buff of not having a good time. Which of course is very, very silly. You want to have a good time. Anybody who's not having a good time can have their not having a good time dispelled by Magical Awesome. That's how you know. So let's go ahead and set up that as a little game event so we know we can use Magic Awesome to make sure everybody's having a good time. For anybody who's not having a good time, they're going to get that effect put on them from the spell of not having a good time. This is a dangerous spell that we'll only give to one of the bad characters. Let's use a large mountain giant, but mountain giants are not bad, so we need to specify some other kind of character. Let's specify a gigantic orc. Now let's see, do you suppose that... Oh, my friend told me today that if I hit Control P, I could see my gigantic orc straight away. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes it's a good thing when you got friends in life. Now we got our gigantic orc, but he could be a little bit more gigantic. So let's just type that in. That's right. Now we got a really gigantic orc. That's more like it. He's going to be over here. He's going to be a bad guy. He's going to be a person who's the source of anybody who's not having fun. So whenever somebody's not having a good time, we'll know that it's definitely his fault. To that end, not having a good time is going to be permanent and have 0 duration. That way, we'll be able to be sure that we can dispel it from all those poor little dryads who are the friends of the purple tree, who are going to be infected with the state of being of not having a good time. That's right. We're going to make them passive units so that they don't attack until we're ready. To that end, let's make a good time event. That's right. Make a little startup function. Startup is the most basic and default sort of function. Then what we'll do, we'll give a little command. That's right. Tell this guy to use the ability. That's right. He's going to use not having a good time. It's a dangerous ability. We want people to have a good time, you know. And he's going to use it on our little purple friends, friend of the purple tree. But to make that happen, we got to put a little delay in here so he can use his ability multiple times. Otherwise, he might not use it every time. Now we got to type in our purple tree friends. There we go. That's right, just like that. Get some of those. Those are some little happy friends. Let's get some more. There's one there. And now we got one last one. That's right. But it's okay. We're going to be able to save them and help them to have a good time. We're just going to need a little bit of fighting power. Because this dangerous character here, he's going to have a lot of hit points. That's right. We need to give him a good name that does a good justice to Warcraft Reforged. So let's call him Please Reforge Me. Because his model is a special hidden model that might not show up in Warcraft Reforged. That way when we play this Reforged map, or the version of this map that becomes automatically reforged, we'll know if he got reforged. He also needs a good icon, so we'll go ahead and give him a good icon. There you go. Seems like things are going pretty well, but we might need a little bit of friends to help us fight that guy. To get our friends, we're going to want to make the purple tree able to train the friend of the purple tree. That's right. So we'll just go in here. We'll type in E00. That's right. Looks like it's not E00, it's E01. Sometimes we all guess numbers wrong, but that's okay. Now the purple tree can make purple tree friends. We need to go to our purple tree friends and make sure that they don't really cost anything, because we don't have a way of getting any lumber. At least not yet. But that's okay. We'll just make them really fast. There you go. Alright. Now it's time to see if Magic Awesome is really capable of helping out those people who are not having a good time.
How you doing?
I already hear the sound of not a good time.
What's the flight?
Let's hurry up with our Magic Awesome over
Show
here.
me the path.
Where to?
This is an interesting battle. Looks like Please Reforge Me and Purple Tree they're really having a battle. This friend of the Purple Tree is not having a good time. But if we use Magic
How
Awesome,
you doing?
now they're having a good time.
Roger, we'll go.
We must hurry.
Looks like Velendoria is going to have to help us
Guilty
over here.
will suffer.
Let's Please
The
Reforge
hunt
Me.
awaits.
It's pretty strong.
We must hurry.
We're gonna have to.
Wait no longer.
We're gonna have to use our ultimate
What's
power.
the flight plan?
Justice
Finger
will
of
be
death.
done.
See if we can get him with that.
Justice.
The great outdoors. What is nature's
Seems
call?
like we're making a
Is
good
there
progress.
trouble? Aim dead center.
I think the
Taste
friends of the
high
Purple
spirit.
Tree might be able to save
Great
the Purple Tree.
outdoors.
The hunt awaits.
Where to? Approaching the sound barrier. Will do, Command.
We must hurry.
There you go. That's right. We defeated Mr. Please Reforge
The
Me.
guilty will suffer.
So now he's gonna be reforged, just like that. That's right. That was our little event for today. I hope you have a good evening and a good rest of your day. Maybe tomorrow we'll continue with good creativity and have even more good ideas. Thank you.